Hello, my lovely students. In this session, we are going to study about the movements. After you have memorized the parts of the nervous system and the locomotor system, you have to recognize that these two systems are responsible for our movements. So, bones and muscles are responsible for our movements. Okay, they control our movements. هن اللي بيتحكموا بالmovements بكل حركات جسمنا. Let's watch what happens when the player sees the ball. We can say that when the eye sees the ball, it sends a message to the brain, and then the brain sends an order to the muscles of the hand to move. Okay, يعني البرين بيبعت order بيبعت أمر للmuscles of the hand to move. By observing these figures, we can say that when the player sees that the net is free, okay, his eyes send a message to the brain. Eyes بعتوا message to the brain, and then the brain orders the muscles of the hand to move and throw the ball to the net. Okay, so now let's complete these sentences by using the given words: hand, brain, player, and ball. Who sees that the net is free? Of course, the player sees that the net is free. Then the what gives an order to the muscles to move. يعني مين اللي بيبعت order بيبعت أمر to the muscles to move بيبعت أمر للmuscles إنه هن يحركوا. Of course, the brain, only the brain can send orders. بس نشوف كلمة order يعني مين بعت الأمر للmuscles. Of course هو البرين. اوكي اذا لو قالوا لنا who sends the message to the brain بنقول انه ال eyes send the message to the brain. Okay, but who gives the order? Of course the brain gives the order to the muscles to move. Okay, then the hand is raised and sends what the ball right to the net. Okay, so you have to write here player, brain, hand, and ball. Now let's observe these two movements. This is movement 1 and this is movement 2. Observe them well. Each movement has a name, and here we have two muscles. This is the biceps muscle and this is the triceps muscle. Okay? Here we are going to see both movements, movement 1 and movement 2. This is movement 1. It's called extension or stretching. يعني extension يعني تمديد، يعني احنا ومادين ايدنا. Okay? Or stretching كمان يعني نحن عم نمغط ايدنا. So this movement is called extension or stretching. During stretching, this muscle is called biceps muscle. Okay, what happens to the biceps muscle? It relaxes، يعني بتتمدد، بتكبر وبتتمدد. Okay, and what happens to the triceps muscle? The triceps muscle will inflate، يعني تعمل شو؟ contract. Okay, يعني بتتقلص على بعضها وبتنفخ. So the biceps muscle relaxes، بترتاح، بتتمدد، بتطول، and the triceps muscle contracts، تتقلص. Okay, now let's watch what happened during flexion. Look here، قلنا هاي اسمها extension. Now we are going to do flexion. This movement is called flexion. Try to do it. This is flexion. Okay, or bending، يعني عم نحني الهاند. This is bending or flexion. During flexion, these two bones of the forearm are more close to the bone of the arm. Okay, and now let's look what happens to the biceps muscle and the triceps muscle. The biceps muscle contracts، عملت contraction يعني بتنفخ، تتقلص على بعضها، and the triceps muscle relaxes. Okay, So this movement is called flexion or bending, and this movement is called extension or stretching. Flexion or bending, extension or stretching. Okay? You should know that these two muscles, the biceps and the triceps muscle, act in opposite ways. يعني هن بيشتغلوا بطرق متعاكسة. When one muscle contracts, the other relaxes. And when one muscle relaxes, the other contracts. يعني هن بيشتغلوا بطريقة معاكسة. لما واحدة منهم تعمل contract التاني رح تعمل relax. Okay? So you should memorize the names of these muscles. This is biceps muscle and this is the triceps muscle. And this movement is called stretching and this is bending. Okay? Now let's complete I remember and read it several times. We can conclude that our movements are controlled by the nervous system. يعني الموفمنتس بيتحكم فيهم مين؟ أي system؟ nervous system. During a movement, muscles work in opposite ways. When one muscle relaxes, the other contracts. Okay, هون بدنا نزيد ES، هون رح نزيد S. Please read it several times.